peanut butter?
Jelly.
Class, if I could have you come to the carpet quickly and quietly so that we can earn some marbles for our bingo jar. Thank you so much. So, what we're going to do this morning is I want you to look at this picture. I'm going to show the camera. So look at this picture and tell me what you think this picture could represent. Remember to raise your hand, please. No shouting out. Kaden.
Maybe it's them trading goods that someone wants and then they trade something that the other person wants.
So trading for goods. Sure. Liam, what do you think?
I think that they're taking stuff that they don't usually use or play with or read, and they're giving it to somebody else.
Oh, so like giving gifts. Okay. So we have trading, or was it giving gifts? Is that what you're okay? Or giving? No, put gifts over here, just in case. Okay, so trading things or giving things as gifts. So has anyone here ever gone shopping? Raise your hand. Everyone's gone shopping? Okay. What do you remember the most about shopping? What are a few things that you can remember from your shopping trips? Kaden?
There was a lot of people, and there was like food, and there were food aisles, and like there was frozen stuff, and then there was like toys aisles, and then there was also cleaning and lots of other stuff that you could use at your house.
Sure. So lots of different things in the area. Sure. Liam, what do you remember about shopping?
I usually remember that you get lots of food,
Okay.
maybe some books.
Okay, so mostly food shopping. Okay. Have you guys ever gone shopping for like a gift for someone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What do you remember about shopping for a gift the most? Remember to raise your hands. Yes, Kaden.
It was very hard to try and get something for myself.
Hard not to get something for yourself. That's a good answer. How about you, Liam?
It was hard not touching stuff that I didn't need.
Not touching stuff that you didn't need. Okay, so I want you to think about your shopping trips that you've been on. I want you to think about this picture and what you think it represents. And we're going to read a book. And the book is called Sheep in a Shop. Okay? I have to get back to the beginning. I was reading it myself and I forgot. Okay. Sheep in a Shop, written by Nancy Shaw, illustrated by Margot Apple. With a raising of hands, just for fun, who can remember what illustrated means? Liam?
Illustrated means coloring pictures.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. Sheep in a shop. A birthday's coming. Hip hooray. 5 sheep shop for the big, big day. Sheep find rackets. Sheep find rockets. Sheep find jackets full of pockets. So they're finding lots and lots of stuff, just like we talked about, right? Sheep find blocks. Sheep wind clocks. Sheep try trains. Sheep fly planes. Are they not touching stuff that they shouldn't be touching? They're touching everything. Sheep decide to buy a beach ball. Sheep prefer an out of reach ball. See, they had to climb clear up here to get that one. Sheep climb. Sheep grumble. Sheep reach. Sheep fumble. What does fumble mean?
I think it means somebody stole something out of somebody else.
Fumble? What do you think a fumble is?
Like
like they're dropping it. Yeah, that's what that means. Oops. Sheep sprawl, boxes tumble, box fall in one big jumble. Sheep put back the beach ball stack. They choose some ribbon from the rack. They dump their bank, pennies clink. There's not enough to buy the stuff. Sheep blink. Sheep think. What can they swap to pay the shop? What does swap mean?
To give something else to somebody and then they give something to you.
Swap. So what's another word for swap?
Trading.
Perfect. Love it. Sheep clipped wool. 3 bags full. See, they took their own wool off their own bodies, right? Because they're sheep. Sheep trade, and the bill is paid. Sheep hop home in the warm spring sun. They're ready for some birthday fun. Okay, so that's a super cute book. So, what was the problem in the book, Kaden?
They didn't have enough to buy all the stuff that they got for someone's birthday.
That's right, they didn't have enough money. Okay, so not enough money. So, what did they do to solve that problem, Liam?
They traded.
They traded. What do you know what another word for trading is when we're talking about goods and services? Kaden.
Swapping.
That's another word. The word that we're thinking about is to barter. Okay, I'm gonna put that up here because it's a word that you might not have heard of before. Barter. So bartering is trading a good or a service. So something that you can do or something that you have for another good or service. Do you remember what goods and services are? What did I just say? Do you remember? Good job raising your hand.
Well, services are like you do something for someone.
Doing something for someone is a
To
service.
get money.
Yes, to get money or
To barter.
to get another good and service. That's right. So what is a good then?
Good is basically
It's something that you have, right? So goods and services are something that you have or something that you can do, right? So bartering is trading something that you have or something that you can do for a different something that someone else has or someone can do. Does that make sense? Thumbs up? Make sense? Okay. So what did the sheep barter? What did the sheep give the shopkeeper? Kaden?
their wool.
Their wool, right. And what did they barter for, Leah?
All the stuff that they bought.
The stuff that they bought, that's right. So did the sheep barter a good or a service?
Good.
Yep, remember to raise your hands, but that's right. So do shops nowadays or do stores nowadays, do they use the bartering system? Good job raising your hand. Not really. No. What do they use instead of a bartering system? I call it myself. They use money, right? We, as a society and as people, use money. Instead of giving a good or a service, we just pay for the item with money, right? Have you guys seen your grown-ups at home use money to pay for goods or services? Yes? Okay. So, can you think of other ways that you could pay or barter for a good or service? Kaden?
Well, if you wanted to, you could be like a paper boy.
Yeah, you could be a paper boy and you could give papers, but generally paper boys get paid, like with money from the right? So I'll give you an example. So my mom watches my kids sometimes, and sometimes instead of me giving her money, dollars and cents, I will cook her and my dad dinner. So, in exchange for her watching my children, I cook them a meal. Is that bartering?
Yes.
I think so. Paying for a good or service with another good or service. Does that make sense? Is that clicking in our brains? Kaden?
Because it's not used nowadays.
Right. It's not used very often nowadays, but it definitely was used back in the day, for sure. Um, so the bartering system came about before like money was actually used. So if someone needed 12 eggs and they were an expert blacksmith, and let's say the farmer needed something built or created out of metal for their farm, do you think that it would have been acceptable back in the day for the blacksmith to make what the farmer needed for their farm in exchange for the eggs that the blacksmith needed? Kata?
Yes.
Do you think so? And do you think that that is bartering?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think it's a fair trade?
If the eggs are really good.
If the eggs are really good. Right, if they're expired, that wouldn't be a good trade. You're right. Okay, so what so our big idea that we're thinking about is we're thinking about bartering. So we have a worksheet that we're going to fill out in pairs. We're going to use our equity sticks to make sure that we don't end up with the same pairs, just like always. We are going to, there are 4 sections of the worksheet. So we are going to think about bartering. So we are going to think about having a good or service and bartering for another good or service. We're going to have 2 goods and 2 services. So we're going to think about 2 things, so goods that we have that we would like to barter for something else. And I want you to tell me whether you think that it is a fair trade or barter and why. And the other 2 on our worksheet, hi friend, the other 2 on our worksheet are services that we would like to barter for another good or service. And you need to be able to tell me if you think it's a good trade and why you think it's a good trade. Is it an even trade? So if I wanted to trade 1 egg for cleaning my house for an entire week, would that be an even trade? No, probably not. But if I wanted to trade a home cooked meal every night for a week in exchange for someone cleaning my house every day for a week, is that an even trade? You think so? Do you think that the same amount of work goes into each part of the trade? Liam, what do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Kate.
I don't really think so.
You don't think so?
Because they have to clean the whole house.
The whole
It's
house.
a huge house.
What if it is a huge house? So then, if you were thinking of cleaning the whole huge house, then you might have to think about something in addition to a meal.
Like
So maybe 3 meals a day, or a dessert, absolutely. So think about what is even to barter, because it has to be an even trade back and forth. Make sense? And I will be walking around to help. If you need any kind of help, just raise your hand, just like we always do. Equity sticks will be picked. I expect no more than probably a level 2 voice, because we'll be at our tables together, so there's no need to scream across the classroom to your best friend, right? raise your hand if you need me. Always think about trading. Bartering is trading, okay? And remember that we have goods and services. We have the definitions up on the board, so if you have problems with the definitions, you can look at the board or you can ask me. I'll be walking around if you need me. And also remember that when the timer goes off, I'm going to give you about 20 minutes. When the timer goes off, if you put away your things quietly, carefully, I will add more marbles to our bingo container. Thumbs up. Does anybody have any questions about what we are going to be doing? For sure. 0. Is everybody awake? For sure. Okay, thumbs up.